Anytime you're working with a number of tracks, chances are that more or one of them might be a little bit out of rhythm with the rest. Groove matching is one of the new features in GarageBand 11, and the results you can achieve are quite amazing. Some people feel that this is a little bit like cheating. Well, if you want to play good rhythm, you got to learn to play good rhythm. But the truth is, a lot of people are just starting out with music, or maybe they're actually pretty good at music, but they're just starting out with recording. And the whole idea of throwing headphones on and tracking guitar is a little bit nerve-wracking. You're not going to do your best performance all the time. And sometimes that's the performance you have. So you can use groove matching to bring the rhythm of a given track into step with the rhythm of another track. It's kind of a luxury to be able to just sort of click a couple of buttons in GarageBand and bring your rhythm section into groove with each other. So if this is something you want to use, go for it. If you feel like it's cheating, then don't use it. It's one of those features that's totally up to you. It's not automatic, but it's very powerful. A good example of the groove matching function would be to tighten up my original scratch acoustic guitar part using the drum track that I laid in here as the groove track. And then I can use the groove assign checkboxes, as you'll see, to connect the guitar part to that drum loop track. And I'll do this by hovering my mouse over the left edge of any of the tracks. You'll see that you can click to assign one track as the groove track. So the fact that I used drum loops from the Apple Loops library, and I know that these loops are solid, I'm going to make that my groove track by clicking on the star to the left. GarageBand wants to analyze audio for groove tracks, so you have to actually give it permission to go through and find all of the rhythmic anomalies and sort of figure out where it's going to do its work. And we also have to enable the follow tempo and pitch function, which as soon as I click continue here, I can show you where that's located. Normally you would have it off, but in order to perform a groove match, you've got to let GarageBand switch follow tempo and pitch on. So I'm going to go ahead and click continue to that as well. So GarageBand performed an analysis of my bass track, my acoustic guitar track, and also the drum track as the master. By default, it has placed a check mark here in the left column for both bass and guitar. But perhaps I want to keep the bass as it was when I recorded it and just apply groove matching to the acoustic guitar. So I can turn those off and decide which tracks I want to apply groove matching to. Drum loops are often a really good choice for groove masters since they're completely in time, but there's no reason not to use whatever drummer you have playing on your song, even if it's not loops, since the drummer is first and foremost setting the time and feel of the song. If your drummer's falling out of step, hopefully you have another track you can elect as the groove track and lock your other tracks to it. What I want you to take a look at here, I'm going to zoom in a little bit more so we can see our waveforms a little more clearly of guitar and bass here. When I actually click the check mark in the left column to follow the timing of our groove track in the acoustic guitar, I want you to watch these waveforms just carefully and notice when I click the checkbox that they're actually going to nudge around a little bit. GarageBand has used the rhythm of the drums to reposition the transients within this acoustic guitar track to match it so that the rhythm is solid between the two. So keep your eye on those waveforms. See how they just move around a little bit there? I'm going to scroll further along in the song here because I know that there's a part right here before the chorus. I'm going to turn the groove match off here for a sec and zoom in a little bit more, the pre-chorus. I was listening back to the song here before recording this movie and realizing that when I came in at the beginning of the chorus on the acoustic guitar track, that in fact I was a bit late on my rhythm. And you can actually see that here as I zoom in. This is the downbeat of the chorus. Here's bar 26. So as far as the metronome is concerned, this is the one. And the drum part really does come in. That first snare and kick drum hit right at the beginning is on the money. And my guitar note is a little bit late. So I'm sort of lagging out a little bit. The bass is fine. The bass is sort of right on here, on the money as well. But as I click this, watch how this waveform scoots back to the top of the bar. So that's basically what groove matching is doing. It's stretching and compressing your audio to match another track that you elect as your grid. So let's listen to it without. You can sort of hear me coming in a little bit late. It's kind of subtle. I'm not very late, but late enough to make this worth doing. Play it one more time. So I feel like that guitar is, it's just a little bit soggy. It's a little bit behind the beat. I'm going to click groove match on and play the same section for you. One more time. So now everybody's on the money. We've got a nice sounding rhythm track, and we can go back to the beginning and take a listen and hear this tight track. I'm going to adjust some of my volumes just a little bit while we're listening back here as well. Try to get a little bit of a better blend. So let GarageBand help your tracks really stand out by using groove matching in moderation, especially when trying to push your rhythm tracks to be as solid as they can possibly be.